Hey guys, so here we are with another furnace job, and for this particular job my customer was out in the mountains and is about 4 hours away, and he brought the furnace to me to work on since I don't really go that far at all. But he brought this to me because it was acting up. Sometimes it would fire, sometimes it wouldn't, and when it would fire up, sometimes he would hear a big explosion. So going through what he explained, the only issues I can see if there's something wrong with the burner, which we'll get to in a minute, I'm just going to go deep dive and show you guys how to clean it out. Since he's way in the mountains in Creed, Colorado, I'm just going to go ahead and do a deep clean besides fix the issue. So from the symptoms, what I've seen is that this will run a little while and then it would just shut off. So just to do some testing, a bench testing here, he spliced the wires. So I've got the two blue wires coming out, and they're actually joined together here at this. I just got it between my leads there, so let's just get this clean. So all I need to bench test this is power. There's 4 wires. There's 2 blues, 1 yellow, 1 red. The yellow is ground, 12 volts ground, negative. The red is 12 volts positive. So I'm just going to use my M12 battery here, since it's 12 volts, to power this whole system. And the 2 blue wires, I know I've explained this before, but I'll just do a deep explanation again. 1 wire is sending 12 volts to the thermostat, feeding the thermostat power. So if your thermostat's dead, not responding, it could be an issue with this wire if it came loose for some reason. But this will feed the thermostat. Some are capped off if the thermostat is getting its power from some other source and not from the furnace. So you may find this capped off, which is totally fine, you don't need it. The other is the return of that same voltage. So if you were to look at this board here, you would see, let me just unplug this just to show you. This right here, let me take the blue off. There we go. You see the blue wire is piggybacking off of the red wire, which will have 12 volts. So that's why this is sending 12 volts to the thermostat. And when the thermostat is calling for heat, all it does is close a relay inside the thermostat to send power back to this other wire, which tells the board, go ahead and fire up. So by bypassing the thermostat, by joining these 2 wires, you will get this to kick on if it has 12 volts. So that's what I'm doing now. I have this bypassed. I've got the wires connected to this wire here, which is just a big roll, so I can use this for testing if I need different lengths. And I have my multimeter tied in so that we can pay attention to the voltage. So let's get this turned on. You see I have another board here, motor, different things, but I already know what the issue is. I just want to go through this with you guys, how I would actually test it all. So let's just stand that so that you can see what's going on over here. So all I have to do is power this up because everything's already wired, and it will kick on within a second or 2. So on this battery pack, the right side is positive and the left side is negative. So once I put this in, this will fire up and we'll see what happens. Pay attention to voltage. We'll see what goes on there. 12 volts. Let's give it a second. And now it's not doing anything. Oh. I unplugged the motor. So you see 12 volts. I'll just go ahead and take advantage that I have this unplugged to show you what's going on. This is getting good power, but as soon as the motor starts to kick on, watch the voltage. It drops. And you see it shut off. So the furnaces, if I'm not mistaken, when I was taking this class with Suburban, it's supposed to have minimum 10.8 volts to even try to kick on. So it's not really a board issue. To confirm that, I have here a Dinosaur board, which is pretty much all I carry, made here in the States for furnaces. It's a Fan 50 Plus. They offer 3-year warranty. It's good stuff. So that's pretty much all I carry. So let's go ahead and plug that board in and see what happens. So I'm not going to remove this old board just yet. This is just testing purposes so you guys can see what all's going on. So new board, we'll plug the spark in, that little igniter let's plug power into this board. Now, before I plug the motor in, let me set this down on plastic so nothing shorts out. Let me see if this is long enough to reach. No, it's not. So I will move things out of the way. Anything metal, there we go. Plug this in and it'll try to fire up as soon as I put this in. So we've got power and everything. Let's hook up the motor to this board. And there went my multimeter, so let me plug that in so we can keep an eye on voltage. All right, everything is plugged in. We've got power, and it's not kicking on. Let me reset this. Oh, add this reversed. All right, let's test this out. Drops too low again. There's no ignition at all. I should be getting shocked, but there's no ignition. You can't hear it kick on. And after a few seconds, it'll die out. Let's go ahead and kill power. All right, killing power just so you can hear me. So after a few seconds, it'll just shut off again. It does last a little longer than this board, but that's just a better board. So usually, if the furnace shuts off within 20 to 30 second range, I tell people, look at the limit switch, the cell switch I mean, which is right here. Let me move the camera just so you can see. So usually, if it shuts off within a few seconds, I tell people to look at the cell switch to make sure it is closing. And what you want to do is look for continuity. So let's just do the whole test here. So with the multimeter in continuity mode, which I'll just put this that beeps. I tell people to unplug the cell switch, just one wire, doesn't matter which, and you put the leads on it. So when you close contact, it should beep. And that beeps immediately. There's no lag. So there's no issue with the cell switch. The other issue that can make the furnace shut off within a few seconds is the cell switch, which let me unplug all this because I don't want to mess up this board. There we go. And wires will be in the way, but there we go. Let me show you. The cell switch, I'll just flip it upside down, is this right here. And you test it the same way. So with the multimeter in continuity mode, unplug once and I get a false reading. These are always tight. Let me see which, there we go. You should get a beep when you touch both sides. There you go. The purpose of the limit switch is that when it overheats, because this is going to get hot, so as it goes burning, air is going to flow and come out the exhaust. When this gets too hot, it just pops and it breaks power, so the signal cuts going back to the board because of it popping open there, breaking the circuit, and the board knows to cut the gas off so to let it cool down. And when it cools down, that again closes and makes contact, so you'll get that beep again, which says it's giving it the green light to turn on. So, going back to this furnace, I already know there's no problem with the cell switch, no problem with the limit switch. When I saw it shut off in a few seconds, that was my first go-to, these two devices, which checked out good. So once I saw that and I knew it was shutting off within a few seconds, I thought, well, maybe it's the board, which could be an issue. I threw another board, since I have them handy, just to test, and it checked out, so I said, okay, let's just check the motor, because I know if the motor's dying out, it could be the bearings inside the motor creating resistance, drawing more amps, and what it does, it will draw some more power and voltage will drop if there's an issue. So what I did, I clamped my multimeter to the negative side here while the motor was running, and I was getting like 12 amps. Way too many amps for this motor. And the motor's usually around 3 amps, just to give you an idea. Anywhere to 3 amps for this type of motor. And I was getting 12 volts, which is showing me there's an amp draw. So the issue is a motor. And what I did to confirm was what you saw in the beginning. I had the multimeter tied into the wires to check voltage. And as soon as I saw the voltage drop to below the requirements for this to light up, I knew the motor's our issue. And that's why you see this motor sitting back here. So I've made videos showing how to change out motors, but I'll just show you the whole process. I'm going to swap out this motor, and I'm going to go ahead, again, since he's really far out, I'm just going to go ahead and take this apart. I'll show you guys what the gas chamber looks like on this model, and make sure everything's nice and clean so we can give it to him all good and working. If there's any sign of issues with the board starting to die, which I don't think there is, then I'll swap that too. So let's go through the process. I have my splicer here just because I was needing to cut some wires. 5/8 wrench, which is going to be for this gas line, which we'll get to in a minute. First we'll change out the motor, and then we'll move on to everything else. But all my tools are a screwdriver. I'm not going to use impacts to not make that much noise. And I have this, what was this, a 3/32 Allen wrench, so that I can take the squirrel cage off of the motor. So we'll get to all that in a minute. Oh, the only tool I lack is a screwdriver, which I'll grab right now. There we go. Because we have these clips, which you already know I hate. So let's get right to it. First thing I'm going to do, move that out of the way. And what you need to do is cut the zip tie, which in this case I'll just use this. I know I have a snips, which make it easier, but if you don't have snips, you can use other tools. So I'm cutting that so I can separate these wires. That has to go out of the way. We'll go ahead and kick this out of the way too, and unplug the red from that. That way we can free this cover to pop off. And I'm not worried about anything else. We'll get to the motor negative wire here in a minute because it's underneath. But I'll go ahead and start the process of taking this apart. What I'll do is unplug power, since we're done testing for now. Let me unplug the blue line. I'll leave that. Let me stand this so I can get both sides of the motor. Since it's standing, the black wire here is our motor, the ground for our motor. So you unplug that, backfeed it behind all of this. And now our motor is ready to come out. We got both wires free. So the only other thing we have besides the clips are these two Phillips. Let me take the Phillips out so they're out of our way. There we go, 2 screws. So the only thing holding the cover now are all those clips. Be careful, they can snap easily, so just go slow and steady. Alright, what I like to do is apply a little bit of force outwards to hold the cover kind of outwards. That way as it goes undoing itself, you'll see that it'll go splitting a little bit. Let me go. There we go. So and you see how it goes spreading. So I've got those done. We've got this. I'll get to that later. Usually it's easier once you get both sides of this top done. So we got one side done. Let me get these clips off. Okay, and now we can move to this. There we go. And I've got that, and if I'm not mistaken, I've got 2 more, one here and one down here that I have to get to still. There we go. This one I like to get behind it just because it's tricky to get to and they snap easy, so I will go here and kind of pry at it to get it to pop off. There we go. So as you go taking it off, the only thing is, let me stand this. You want to be careful. There's a small peg down here, which I'll get to in a minute and show you, that is holding this in place. So that's done. There we go. This peg here. Okay. This peg right here, you see it now in front of my finger. So this peg, you want to make sure when you put this back in, you put this over that peg. That way you don't bump into it, it won't let you go install it. So we've got the motor out. Let me move this, make some room. There's our motor. We will pop it out of this hole. It's just tight, so you can go little by little, wiggling in, it'll come out. All right, there's that. So that's where this tool comes handy. We'll go ahead and undo this screw. There we go. So you see how that's just it's just an Allen screw, and this is sign of it overheating, but it shouldn't be a problem. It's just starting to deform there, kind of melt. But that was gas issue because there's not enough air in there, so that's why it was causing the furnace to pop, which is what my customer was explaining, that he would get a pop every so often. So here's our new motor. I always recommend changing one wheel at a time so you know which one to put where. So we have the pegs going upwards, so we'll throw this on. And now we will tighten it. There we go. It's probably gonna have to change that in the future. Go ahead and take this one off. So if you follow this, you will see that the squirrel cage, let me focus. Okay, you will see that the squirrel cage has a small cutout that you can use these longer. I think this is a 4-inch Allen bit. So we'll go ahead and loosen that screw up. There we go. Pop that off. Set that motor aside, and we'll slide this on. Right there. Okay, now we tighten this. There you go. You don't have to over tighten it. Just make sure it's nice and snug. So now we'll put the cover back on. While we're here, there's our cell switch. Feed the wires through the hole since the motor sits right here. That way it gets it started. Okay, and now we can fit this in, and you'll see these screws, it goes, let me see if I can point it to you. Yeah, right there, you see that cutout right there? that's where this little peg is supposed to sit. So line up that peg. You can see it in there, it's going in. Want to make sure the motor's straight. And right there. Wires will be tight, so that'll hold that in place, and the motor just now fit inside the hole. So that's that. Now what we'll do is put this cover on. So let me keep this aside. There we go. Since we have this open, let me go ahead and explain how the furnace works here. So this is our intake, which with this squirrel cage, it's sucking air into this hole, and that's going straight to our gas chamber, which we will get to in a minute because I want to again do a full maintenance for them. So this is where it's pulling air into the system, and this squirrel cage, which is bigger, all it's doing is pushing air inside here. So this is all inside of another metal cage, and this is what heats up. So that's our gas chamber, which once we open, you'll see this is our gas line coming in. Our air's coming in through this hole, and it's just moving all this hot air once it ignites through this chamber, through the rear one, and coming out the exhaust. And this squirrel cage here is just blowing air through here so that it can pick up heat created by this core and push it into the RV. So that's basically how the whole system works. So let's get back to this. The one thing to do, if you're going to leave the cables in, you can feed them out and then feed them back. It's totally up to you, it's optional. But when you put this on, you want to make sure that the cables aren't getting pinched here. So make sure it's all the way through, there's nothing in the way. And don't forget, there's that peg. Your lower wheel is supposed to go over that peg as you go putting this in place. I already got it over it, so we are good. Make sure the wires are okay, we're not pinching anything. So I go ahead and click it in place. There we go. So just to confirm, it's nice and flush, except here, so now it's clicked. We're flush here, and we're flush here. So what I'll do, the red wire is going to go to the board in a minute. The black wire has to come through the back because we have to plug it into the ground, which is on the other side. So I have to feed it through this hole. You can see I'm just feeding it through that little light so that we can get it to the other side. There we go. Then we can flip this over. There's our wire, and we will plug it in to that block. There we go. So that's taken care of. And all I have to do is plug this into the board. We can go ahead and start putting this together. The red power goes to the switch, which on and off. We've got our cell switches here. So we'll plug the cell switch in. This is our igniter. I can go ahead and wire this up because taking the gas chamber apart will not affect any of these wirings. So the blower, that's the board we're working with right now. There you go. And I know I've said this before, but you can't reverse the wires because they only fit on one way. Let me unplug this other wire here. So this is what I have, and the red wire. You see they're different sizes, one smaller than the other. And same here where they hook up. One, it's labeled, if you look up close, it says power on the right, PWR, I don't know if you can tell. And right in between here, the middle says BLO for blower. So our blower goes on that. And the small one is our 12 volts, goes on that one. So with all that hooked up, we'll plug this in turn that on. And this is our other cell switch wire, so let me plug that in. All right, everything's nice and tidy, so once we connect power, we should be able to get it to try to ignite now that we've changed out the motor, which was our issue. So I just want to test it. I haven't tested it yet. We're doing it all live, so you can follow along with me what I'm doing. Got one strand went down. Come on, there we go. All right, so I will hook up 12 volts. We'll leave that wire on the side. Let me grab this. All right, so now the board's ready to ignite. So this is hot, setting 12 volts to the thermostat, and this is a return. So as soon as we join this, give it a second and it'll try to kick on. Once we confirm, I'll add these screws that I didn't put on the motor, but it's not a big deal right now. Alright, you probably didn't hear that, but it was trying to ignite. I just disconnected the power. You don't want it to shut off immediately, because if it did ignite, it has to go through the process to cooling down the core before you do anything else. But since we don't have gas, I'm not worried about it. I just want to show you another way you can tell if you can't hear the clicking. This is our igniter, so I am going to hold it close. Let me see if I can get you closer. I want you to see the spark. Let me get this out of the way. We'll clean up wires in a minute once we're done. So now, I will turn this on, which is mimicking the thermostat power, and I will hold this close, so hopefully you can see the spark with me. See that? We have our spark. Nice. So we have our spark. So that was our whole issue, the motor. This one presented itself a little tricky than other motors, which right away, after working with these, I know the noise it's supposed to make. I could tell right off the bat the other ones were having issues, but this one need a little more diagnosing just to confirm that. So let me go ahead and put these screws on, and then we'll move on to the gas chamber. Kind of hard having the camera in the middle, but I want to try to keep you guys as close as I can so you guys can see everything I'm doing. There we go. And screw that goes underneath. Nice. All right, and now comes the fun part. We're done with these tools. All I need for this gas chamber is a 5/8 wrench and a Phillips screwdriver. So let me relocate the camera so you can see what's going on. All right, I think that's a good angle. So what I'm going to do is make sure this is nice and focused. There we go. So way down in here, we've got a nut. Now some people like using a crow's foot, but you don't need one, because way down in there. Yeah, there you can barely see it. There's that nut, so you have to break that loose. There we go. And we can disconnect it. Now we're free. Okay. And now we have to take all these screws off. Be aware, it has this little, like a filter here, a gasket, it's a felt gasket here. And if it breaks, you have to replace that, which I've got spares on me, so I'm not worried about breaking it. There we go. And it has this here that's just helping to hold this in place and not rattle and get scratched or cut. So I'm just moving it out of the way because this is going to come straight out. Nice. So you see that gasket came out without a problem, no hitch at all. So this is our gas line, it's just coming in. It's got some gunk in there. And it's just blowing our gas straight into the burner. I just want to take a peek at that piece in there, so I'll show you what we're doing to make sure there's no damage to this. Since he mentioned it was popping, I want to take this out and make sure that there's no damage to this. Set this here. There we go. So these screws are self-tappers, so that one was getting caught. You don't always have that issue. So the only thing I have to do is feed some slack here from this wire, the igniter, so that we can actually pull this out. So let me pull some slack in. There we go. That's enough for testing purposes. Oh, if you want more, just unplug it. There you go. So, there we go. And grab that other screw that fell. There we go, 4 screws. And that last screw is just holding this igniter on that piece. So, what I'm going to do is clean this off a little bit, and then we'll put it back in because it's not popped. Usually what I see with this little burner part here is that when there's an issue with gas flow and all, this can blow and you'll see like it exploded. So then you would have to replace this whole piece. But we're totally fine, it's just blackened, but it is okay. So a quick clean of this and we'll put it all back together. And important thing, there's no bugs in here. Usually, you know, I tell people put bug screens on their furnaces to keep bugs from getting in here. They like the smell of gas. As soon as I opened it, because of that gunky stuff here, that oil substance, this has a little bit of smell of gas. So bugs will crawl in here because they like that smell. It's attracting, it's kind of sweet to them. And I've seen people use air compressors, but a lot of time, you see this plate here? It blocks them from going into this chamber and coming out the exhaust. So a lot of times you'll have bugs build up right here in this area because of the air that's coming in, it's pushing them there. And if you use a compressor, same thing, they get caught in this area. And what tends to happen, it interferes with the gas flow, and then you have issues because it's burning on, off because of the flame, how it's interacting with the gas burning down there. So all you want to do is put bug screens on to avoid them getting caught in here. So since we're clean, I don't have to mess with that. I just wanted to make sure we were okay. Again, he lives 4 hours away, so that'll save him some time. So let me just grab another brush here, and we will dust this off. Nice. I like to hit it just because if there's anything inside, it can just fall out. So now we can go ahead and just put this back together. So we'll put this back in the hole and start adding all these different screws we have. There's no specific order, doesn't matter how you go about this. Making sure I have the slack I need. Go ahead and put this screw on now. And the last one. All right. So let me go ahead and show you how this works again. That's all in the clear. I want you to see it spark inside. So let me relocate the camera and I'll start it up so we can see the spark inside the chamber. All right, now that I have you zoomed in, you just want to pay attention in there. That's where you'll see the spark. Let me get power hooked up. All right, here it goes. And it's sparking when we see it. Nice. All right. I saw it on the camera here that it sparked, so you should have seen it just fine. So yeah, let's go ahead and put this back on. I'll relocate the camera just because that angle may be tough to see where this goes. Let me show you real quick and then I'll put the camera back. So as you can see, you want to be careful with this because of that gasket. It's easy to break, so you want to go slow when doing this part. First thing I like to do is get my hand under the furnace to kind of prop that gas valve closer, you see? That way it gives me more wiggle room. It's just a trick to actually get this started, because this is the most annoying part when working on the gas chambers, is getting that nut going. And we got it. Oh no, we didn't. See what I mean? That's what I hate. Let me just put something to prop the gas valve up so I can have two hands up here. There we go. This is super stuck, so it's going to be a little more of a pain because of that. Looks like we got it going. Let me check. And yes, it is going in, so we're good. The reason I wanted to use two hands is just so I can hold this up so it's not banging down, especially because where the screws are at, you see it's got a little lip right there, so that can scratch that material and crack it. Okay, now let me take that screwdriver out so that this can drop. There we go. Line up the holes and we'll start putting those screws on. No specific order to this, you just want it nice and snug, but I like to crisscross them just so that it holds flush as I go doing the rest. If you go in an order, that might move a little bit if it's not flush against it like mine is, so it helps when you just kind of go in a star pattern, not one after another. All right, it's going good so far. Nice. All right, now that I have all that tight, I'm going to go back to this because I want to make sure it's nice and tight to not have any issues. So I'll tighten it, then back off a hair, and then retighten. All right. I'm happy with that. It's not budging. So let me get this material here to wrap that pipe. There we go. All right, that completes the whole test. So we've cleaned that out. That cleaned off the burner. Chamber didn't need any cleaning. You saw stuff just floating around because of the air pushing anything that's on my table on the back, and it was just floating around. But the gas chamber is done. That's how you do that, and everything else checks out. We've got ignition. I'll do one more test run and fire it up, see what happens. Alright, I can hear it clicking. Alright y'all, that's it. That's pretty much it. If you had to change out the board, let me show you real quick. If you had to change it out, it's snapped in place right here. So all you have to do is, in this case it doesn't have anything locking it in place. Sometimes there's a metal piece that's holding the board back so it doesn't come off, and it's tied to this screw. So you may have to remove the metal piece, but in this case it's just held right there, so if you just push on this, it'll pop right out. So we won't do that because we don't have to. Everything checks out good. He's going to be a happy customer, staying warm because it is snowing outside, and especially up there in the mountains. He's probably getting it worse than we are down here. So I hope you all have a good day. Hope this video helps understanding how it works a little better, especially the gas chamber side of things that we haven't really touched on much. So have a good day. See you next time.